The team that played against Penrith in last year's GF, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, we've all gone out on a limb and gone fifth as well for Souths. Obviously, the biggest story being Adam Reynolds going up north to Brisbane.
Which is a big loss. You can't discredit losing your halfback for the last 10 years.
Longer.
He's been there a long time.
Yeah,
so.
Redfern, born and bred in Adam Reynolds. So big shoes to fill for Lachlan Elias. Didn't look too bad in the Charity Shield. I caught a bit of that last weekend. Cody Walker. People going to sleep on Cody. He is an elite player. He might be able to just mentor Lachie Elias into the role. Latrell will miss the first few games.
I also can't forget no Wayne Bennett. It's probably the
true.
He's another big change for these guys. So, yeah, that's why I slid them down. I still think they've got a good roster, a good list. Yeah. But I just don't think they're going to be in that top four that we talked about beforehand.
They might
challenge it.
For mine, if I've gone unders on anyone,
they're just losing a few things.
If I've gone unders on any side, I think I've gone unders on South. I really think they could be a top four side. No worries. I was tempted to go South above Melbourne in my rankings with having Melbourne fourth, but I just think the system and the loss of Bennett, the loss of Reynolds, etc.
Really interesting to see if they drop off or not. Anyway.
I don't think they drop off. I think we'll flog a dead horse and just keep talking about the elite 5-6 teams in the NRL, and South Sydney are one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they go top four or better this year. Health will be a big thing. Latrell not losing his mind and doing dumb shit and getting suspended. Cameron Murray didn't play much or at all in the trials. Missed a little bit of footy last year. How he goes moving forward will be interesting. And then that halves pairing of Cody Walker with the young bloke Lachlan Elias. Is Cody able to mentor him? Is Lachlan Elias, a long-term first grade 7? That's what we're going to be finding out this year.
Agree.
All right, big one here. Two of us here on the Esky support this team. It is me and the man to my right, the St. George-Illawarra Dragons. Sean, you've got them 16th, dead last, spoon favourites. I've got him at 10th, and Monkey's been a little bit more bullish with them sneaking into the 8. That might be a little bit more heart than head, but we'll discuss shortly. Sean, tell me why they are the worst team in football, please.
Just because of you two.
I'm glad you're upfront about that.
As soon as I saw that, I knew that was the reason I done it as well. I'm like, come on, guys.
I don't think they're making the 8, so you can move them forward about 4 spots and slide the others back. But my concern, of course, with them is Sloan playing 1. Of course, losing Corey Norman. Didn't want him. Yep. So whether they're 6 in play.
Losing Duffy.
I really like Ben Hunt's. McCulloch, I think, serviceable will hook up, but I think his best is past him. And then a lot of interesting buys. Like, I do like Jaden Sewer.
Yep.
Moses Mbai, maybe he ends up playing 6. Or 1. Aaron Woods, I think, that's a good buy. I think he's more of a name guy at the moment, but I think George Burgess is probably the biggest one there.
I think both those guys, no disrespect, but Woodsy and Burgess haven't seen a lot out of either of those blokes. Dragons kind of have a history of paying a little bit overs for dudes.
That's why I said they're name guys.
And who knows? Maybe they are able to have a career resurgence and a late breakout year. And even Moses Mbai, probably hasn't been at his best.
He's been at a shit club
in the last few years at West Tigers. I really like the signings of Sewer and Molo. I think both will bolster that pack. And I'm glad that you're up front, that you just had them being spooners because of us. However, if you look at the bookies, and if you wouldn't mind bringing up the odds, I think West Tigers have just overtaken the Dragons as being the spoon favourites. But before the Charity Shield, I think a lot of bookies had the Dragons coming last. Again, maybe I'm biased by being a fan. I don't really see where that is at. I think healthy, that's a good side. Moses Sully, we haven't even spoken about him coming across.
I think the big concern is, do you get Dragons Ben Hunt or do you get Queensland Ben Hunt?
Well, no one gets Queensland Ben Hunt.
Unfortunately, which I think is the issue because I reckon you're going to ask him to do a lot on this side.
Yeah, a lot.
And
Him and McCullough are going to have to really, direct the boys around.
Yeah.
We saw Jack Bird be really good last year.
But then
he can play anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he plays 6.
Well, they made him put on a lot of size last year to play in the second row.
And we got to talk about who we think will play 6 in Talatau Amone. Been very impressive in the trials. Very quick, highly touted player. But it's always going to be a bit of an issue when you've got Tyrell Sloan and Talatau Amone, who between the two of them have less than 10 first grade games. Between them, they're going to have to come along. I'm hoping as a fan, I'm sure you're hoping as a fan, that we do see them rapidly develop this year. I don't see too many problems with the pack. Zach Lomax, if he can stay healthy, could probably play for New South Wales. I really legitimately think that he is an elite centre in our game. Obviously spent a lot of time out last year with that broken thumb. It's
he won't though. The guys in front of him, this is the problem.
It's pretty hard.
There's too many fullbacks playing centres for New South Wales.
Fair, yeah. When you're trying to break into a side that features
Latrell Turbo,
Trebojevic, Latrell, Gutherson would have something to say about.
Whiten can't get any spots.
Whiten can't get in. It's pretty hard to break into that. I really do think very highly of Zach Lomax. I don't think they'll get the spoon.
So I think I can see the book
literally with my Dragons cap on saying that. Do they make the 8? No. Maybe am I a traitor to my own team? Having them finishing 10th,
Judas.
Possibly a little bit of a Judas. I wasn't quite as heroic as Monkey going for the top 8.
I've taken the piss and gone last. He's gone as much of his heart we can with 8, and you've got. I'll try to be the nice.
Maybe I'll be the most realistic. A gentleman's 10th. A gentleman's 10th.
The only reason why they weren't higher is because I couldn't see him getting past the Sharks.
See again, we look at the Sharks. I don't see that much difference between Cronulla and St George. When you look at this team and you put it next to South or you put it next to Manly,
you can see it.
Yeah, you go okay.
I can see where there's a bookie seeing this is like it's a really young back line. It's an older pack, and you're hoping Ben Hunt can put it all together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you get some odds? Terrell Fuimano and Josh Maguire will both miss the opening rounds. Fuimano is going to miss 5 weeks, I think, from a cannonball tackle, perhaps.
Was he the one that did the hit drop?
Oh, yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
haven't watched too much of the trials again.
The hip drop was a big thing in the trials.
Yeah,
so we'll have to see how that goes.
We spoke about it last year. It is dangerous, but it's also not far from a textbook tackle.
It's very hard to.
Yeah,
there was literally like another one, like 10 minutes later in that match, which was just fair gameplay on. Because it just missed the legs.
Fuimano does have some priors.
Yes,
he
doesn't help the judges.
And he was the one.
So does the other bloke that got suspended.
Both have big priors. Fuimano, I believe, was that bloke that put that shot on Ryan Pappenhausen last year. So maybe the judiciary saying, "Look, mate, we need to stamp out some of these parts of
clean your game up a little bit and then come back."
Yep.
Yeah.
Spoon favourites?
Spoon favourites. So we have got West Tigers sitting at 350 and Cowboys after them 450 with St George at 450 as well.
Interesting. You remember last year they had a spoon favourites and we had a gentleman's 11th or something to finish. So not too bad.
Yeah. Fucking barbecue.
It was going pretty good into that barbecue. Anyways, thanks for your service, Paul Vaughan.
Yep. Roosters.
Let's go pretty quickly through.
Roosters in top 3. Water is wet.
Yep.
I think again for them, healthy. They're halves.
Yes.
On the smaller side, the leaner side, they need to stay healthy.
But
otherwise,
but people forget how good Luke Keary is.
Yeah, he is, but he gets concussed all the time.
And Sammy Walker, is probably 85 kilos dripping wet.
If that.
So, it'd be interesting to see if they can stay healthy. Obviously, you need the big boys, your JWHs, your CL Takiaos to be there, and Victor Radley. Not being suspended for 8 weeks of the year or whatever it was.
For some silly high charges.
Yeah.
He got magic round. So
he got magic round hard, didn't he? You need those boys standing around their 6 and their 7 and saying, if you want to run at them, you can run at me, and we'll go from there. Yeah, keeping them healthy is going to be a massive thing. On paper, elite squad. Tedesco, Daniel Tupou's played a lot of Origin. They pick up Paul Momirovski to fill some Morris boots there from the Panthers. Joey Manu, legitimate shout to be one of the best centers in the league, if not the best.
I think
Connor Watson.
Let's just say he's probably the most underrated center in the league.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I think he's really, really good, and he just gets so underrated. Probably because he played on the Roosters.
Yep. Agreed. Connor Watson coming across.
Where's the young fella?
Suwali. Yeah, we don't even have Joseph Suwali in that starting side. Where do we fit him in? I think he starts. Kevin Naikwama that we've got there. I don't know if he starts in the wing. I think maybe Joseph Suwali starts there. Elite side. Even looking at the bench, guys like Lindsay Collins has played Origin, coming back from the ACL. Nat Butcher's pretty handy. I was the most bullish on them. I had them finishing second. You guys have them both at third.
They'll be in that top 3. Just
top 4.
Panthers, as we said, those 4, whatever order, it'll be those 4.
Yep. Agreed. Probably water wet. The Chooks will be good. The Melbourne Storm will be pretty good. To your team that probably won't be very good. And
Tigers.
we're going nearly 3 hours 40 deep on the potty. Here, our friends at Sportsbet had the West Tigers getting the spoon. Me and you had them both getting the spoon. And my man here, Sean, had the Dragons getting the spoon with the Tigers finishing 15th.
They're going to be bad.
Maybe this age is like our India afraid of the Gabba.
Scroll down a little bit, Jimmy.
Maybe they finish a gentleman's 9th or something like that. Didn't recruit too well. Jackson Hastings
is a big one.
Yeah, he comes over from England.
I wonder if that helps Brooks elevate his game a little bit. But Benji was there and couldn't do it. So, yeah, I just don't see this side progressing, unfortunately.
Who else have we got? Stefano Utukamano. He comes over from Manly. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce his name. Yeah, I don't know. It's just we saw it last year, with the show on Fox Sports. It's just a bit all over the place at West Tigers, isn't it? There's guys that want to buy it. There's all kinds of word around the board, being in kerfuffles with each other.
Yeah, it's too much drama off field.
Yeah, exactly. We won't spend too long on the West Tigers. Would love for Tigers fans for them to do a little bit better than what they're being predicted. But yeah. Can't see them pushing for the 8, to be honest. Dane Laurie was really good last year. If he stays healthy, he's only going to get better and better. But I've got big concerns about the West Tigers, as we all do. Tyrone Peachy's good signing coming down from Queensland. Don't need to elaborate too much more. I think anything above about 13th would be a good finish for the West Tigers.
Yeah.